Alright everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the Jordan Report and I am your host, Robert Jordan. Everyone please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Okay guys, Governor Northam is back in the news today. The Democrat governor of Virginia is back in the news today. Only this time it's not for blackface, or his nickname Coon Man, or taking guns away from his citizens. It's about infanticide again. The people of Virginia are trying to pass laws to protect the children against the Democrats. And the Democrats are fighting them even harder. And so here's another story. This is from Life News. This was February the 20th. Virginia Democrats rejected a bill this month to protect newborn babies who survive abortions after Governor Ralph Northam openly defended infanticide by neglect last year. I'm sure we've seen all that clip about it where he was talking about letting the baby die on the table and the mother would have the discussion. I'm going to show you that clip. But this is what this legislation is in response to. Because they're afraid they have a governor that will kill a child, and they are afraid. Culpeper Star Exponent reports that Born Alive Act expired in the Virginia House Courts of Justice Committee last week because Democrats did not take action within the legislative deadline. They just let the bill die. The pro-life legislation would have required medical workers to provide basic medical care to infants who survive abortions. Let me reread that. The pro-life legislation would have required medical workers to provide basic medical care to infants who survive abortions. They have to fight the Democrats over this. This is what's going on in Virginia. Those who did not could have been charged with a Class 4 felony and faced up to 10 years in prison. Nick Freitas, who sponsored the legislation, emphasized how needed the legislation is after their state's own governor, a pediatric physician, defended the practice of allowing newborns to die without medical care. I'm going to show you the clip of them saying that in case you guys didn't see it. So this is what the bill is in response to, because they're trying to save the life of children who happen to survive an abortion. The Democrats want to kill the child. The purpose of the Born Alive Act is to ensure that when a child is born under difficult circumstances, oftentimes when they're born as a result of a botched abortion, the medical care professionals of Virginia understand that we still expect them to do everything reasonable within their power to save that child's life. He said Democrats who control the state legislation even mocked his attempt to protect babies from infanticide. That's who the Democrats are now, man. That's who they are. Pro-abortion Democrats argue that the bill is not necessary because infanticide is already illegal in Virginia, according to the report. But Fred has pointed out that Northam's comments in 2019 explain why their current laurels are not enough. They have to protect their children against the governor. Virginia Democrats claim that infanticide does not take place in Virginia, yet last year Governor and pediatric doctor Ralph Northam went into horrific detail in describing how infanticide currently takes place in Virginia, he said. Okay, I'm going to show you this clip and then we're going to get out of here because it's such a terrible story.
Exception. There was a very contentious committee hearing yesterday when Fairfax County Delegate Kathy Tran made her case for lifting restrictions on third trimester abortions as well as other restrictions now in place. And she was pressed by a Republican delegate about whether her bill would permit an abortion even as a woman is essentially dilating, ready to give birth. And she answered that it would permit an abortion at that stage of labor. Do you support her measure and explain her answer?
Yeah, and I wasn't there, Julie, and I certainly can't speak for Delegate Tran, but I will tell you first thing I would say is this is why decisions such as this should be made by providers, physicians, and the mothers and fathers that are involved. There are, when we talk about third trimester abortions, these are done with the consent of obviously the mother, with the consent of the physicians, more than one physician, by the way. And it's done in cases where there may be severe deformities, there may be a fetus that's non-viable. So in this particular example, if a mother is in labor, I can tell you exactly what would happen.
Listen very carefully to what he says.
The infant would be delivered. The infant would be kept comfortable. The infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and the family desired, and then a discussion would ensue between the physicians and the mother. So I think this was.
A discussion will ensue about what? If the baby is alive, what are they going to talk about? This is where the Democrats are, people. This is where they're talking right in our face. They will kill a child sitting right in their face that is alive, that's already been born. Has nothing to do with women's health. So this just another report on the war that the Democrats have against our children.